Hello, everybody. Welcome to Ready, Set, Grow, a monthly podcast of the Loudoun Education Foundation. I'm Danielle Nadler, Executive Director of the Loudoun Education Foundation, and I am thrilled today that we get to talk to both a student, yay, we're long overdue, we haven't done that yet this school year on the podcast, and then we also get to talk to PROPEL leads at Frederick Douglass Elementary School. So we're piping into Frederick Douglass Elementary, and we are with Ciaran. Would you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself?
I'm Ciaran Ramsey, and I have been PROPEL in 2 years. I'm in Miss Williams' class, 5th grade, and I've been in Frederick Douglass Elementary School for 6 years.
Very cool. So you're wrapping up your elementary journey, which is pretty cool. Well, I'll just share, just for those in our audience who don't know, PROPEL is a program. It started about 8 years ago when the Loudoun Education Foundation approached HHMI Janelia and Jack Kent Cooke Foundation about an idea of, hey, what if we provided hands-on STEM learning for students in the elementary school, 4th and 5th grade, to prepare them to go on to take rigorous coursework both in middle school and beyond. And now there are 10 elementary schools that have PROPEL, and there are 6 middle schools that have a similar program called Level Up. So we're just thankful for our funding partners that frankly make this possible. So Ciaran, now that they know all that, tell me what you thought when you first heard about PROPEL and that you would be invited to be part of the program.
I thought PROPEL was first just a average program, but first time I came into class for PROPEL, I realized it wasn't just an average program that anyone could come into. It was actually a special program that you have to be good in math, science, and a bit in reading.
Cool. And is your program after school or during the school day?
It's after school.
Okay, so after a day of learning, what makes you want to stay at your school for another, hour or more to take part in PROPEL? Why is that worth it to you?
I feel like it's worth it because my brain, after a long day of school, it's still turning gears, it's still working. So having an after-school program to keep moving my brain because it's not turned off yet is definitely helpful.
What do you enjoy about PROPEL?
It challenges our mind every single day.
Do you have friends in the program?
I would say yes.
And then from what you just won a competition. Could you share about that?
So I got 3rd place in the first challenge. I got 2nd place in the 2nd challenge. And overall in challenges, we got 1st place.
And that was Innovation Day. Our partner at Northrop Grumman sponsors that, and from what I hear, that it was just an incredible day, and that Frederick Douglass brought a lot of awards home.
Yes.
Congrats. Well, what would you say to other students who are considering joining PROPEL?
I would say if they're curious of joining PROPEL, that they would possibly need to know that it's not just an average bridge program. It's a special program that you're specially invited to.
What is the coolest project that you have done in PROPEL?
I think my coolest project has to be the Artemis model.
Tell me.
Our Artemis model was a moon base that you have to build on the moon, and it has to look like the moon. We had to make a peepsternaut suit, a strawberry moon base, the moon surface, and on our own make a large rover for a rocket pad, and a garage for our rover.
That is so cool. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today, and I'm excited to talk to 2 of your teachers, the PROPEL leads at Frederick Douglass Elementary. Thank you again, Ciaran, for chatting with us.
You're welcome.
Well, awesome. We're still at Frederick Douglass, and now we have 2 of the PROPEL leads at Frederick Douglass. Would each of you, Mrs. Williams, Mrs. Joback, please introduce yourselves.
I'm Nikki Williams, and I am the PROPEL lead at Frederick Douglass, and I led the fall session this year, and I have been a coach the previous 2 years for PROPEL, but this was my first year being lead.
And I'm Carrianne Joback. I led the spring session of PROPEL, but I helped in the fall. This is my first year doing PROPEL. I coached 2 years ago, but this is my first real year doing it all year long, and I've enjoyed it. I'm also a first grade teacher here at Frederick Douglass.
Awesome. Well, thank you both for doing, as an elementary parent, thank you both for what you do every day. I could not do it, but I'm so thankful that there are people that not only can, but do it well and do it with love and passion. And just thinking about Propel, I'd love to know, what do you think it is about that program that keeps students coming back and saying, yes, I've had a full school day, but I want to stay for this program, this hands-on learning called Propel?
I think they like to come back because it's hands-on, because lots of times, especially in 4th and 5th grade, they do a lot of note-taking or working on on their Chromebooks. But for this, they do a lot of hands-on building and creative thinking, and it gives them an outlet to do those kind of things that they may not get to do during the classroom during the day.
That's a really good point. And then I also was curious, because you all are also choosing to stick around at the school at the end of the day, not even mentioning the planning time, of course, but what do you enjoy about it? Why do you do it?
Well, first of all, I think the PROPEL as a whole is really organized through the coordinators that we have. But I think at Frederick Douglass, I like to come back because the previous 2 years I was a first grade teacher, so I loved seeing my old students and kind of seeing where they were a few years later. And now I'm a PE teacher, so I see all the students. So being able to know all the students and come back and see them work in a classroom setting, and like Ms. Joback was saying, it's very student driven. So they are motivated to be here, and they want to learn, and they want to do well. And so that intrinsic motivation comes in, and it's on topics that are fun for them. So it's kind of cool just to kind of be a little more hands off as a teacher, and kind of give them the reins on their own learning.
That's so fun. It's so well said. And a question I just wanted to ask both of you, what do you, my mother was a teacher. Many of us have, of course, been in a classroom with students. We know that teaching is hard. I think it's gotten harder from what I understand. Why do y'all do it, and what gets you kind of out of bed in the morning and very early at Frederick Douglass, because I know they have an early bell? What gets you there excited to be there for the students?
For me, it's the kids and seeing their joy in learning, and they, especially elementary school, they love to be at school. They don't like having days off, honestly. My first graders, they get sad when they have a day off at school. But honestly, it's just the joy of seeing them learn something new. And even the older kids, the 4th and 5th graders, like Miss Williams said, I taught them a couple of years ago, and now to see how much they've grown and matured, and just what creative thinkers they are, it just makes it, for me, all worth it.
That's great. Awesome.
I think for me, just kind of like Ms. Joback was saying, seeing the kids every single day, building those relationships with them and their families. So seeing them, if we're out in Leesburg and we see them out, and they act like you're a celebrity, or if you walk in the cafeteria during lunch, they just show so much love for their teachers at the elementary level, especially, and just seeing them and like she was saying, seeing them grow every single day is one of the reasons that I wanted to be a teacher, and I continue to come back year after year.
That is so fun. And you're so right. I feel like, especially at the elementary level, we have a kindergartner, and he now knows where one of his favorite teacher lives. So when we ride bike by, he's like, let's stop. I'm like, I think he's off the clock. Let's let him enjoy dinner. But you're right. It's like just such a genuine love, and I think respect for their teachers at that age. And Lord willing, I hope it continues, at least for our son. We'll make sure it does. But yeah, I just appreciate you all so much, and thank you for going the extra mile so the students have that, yes, during the day, of course, but that after school, the PROPEL program, it's something that it really is a result of local organizations like Janelia, Northrop Grumman, Amazon's another supporter of Propel, coming together saying, what can we do to really get young people excited about STEM so that when they are offered, hey, do you want to apply for the Academies of Loudon? Or, hey, have you thought about an AP science course? They feel more equipped to say yes. So it's really exciting to meet you all being kind of on the front lines of all that. Thank you for everything you do.
Thank you.